ICC prosecutors 6 charges against rebel leader Joseph Kony. Government promises solid support to fisheries sector. This and more coming up in UBC News tonight. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day. In UBC News tonight, Museveni invites Vietnamese leader Nguyen Van to visit Uganda. Still to come, soldier shoots border cyclist dead in Kawanda. ICC prosecuted 6 charges against rebel leader Joseph Kony. And lastly, in our headlines, government promises solid support to fisheries sector. A very good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. In UBC News Tonight, President Museveni has extended an invitation to the Vietnamese leader, His Excellency President Nguyen Van, to visit Uganda next year. While speaking to the invited guests at a state dinner hosted by President Nguyen at the International Convention Center in Hanoi, General Museveni delivered greetings and salutations from the 43 million people of Uganda to the people of Vietnam. He further informed his counterpart that Uganda will be hosting the Non-Aligned Movement Conference in November 2023, and it would be good for His Excellency Nguyen to attend and further cement the partnership between the two countries. Details follow.
Mặc dù xa cách về địa lý, nhưng Việt Nam, Uganda luôn dành cho nhau tình cảm gần gắn bó, đoàn kết,
Mr. President, distinguished guests, despite the geographic distance, Vietnam and Uganda have always shared warm sentiments, solidarity, and wholehearted support for each other. Our party, state, government, and people always treasure the support extended to Vietnam by the government and people of Uganda in our struggle for national liberation.
Chúng ta vun đắp tin cậy về chính trị và hợp tác cùng phát triển.
There is a lot of potential in the tricontinental grouping. Fortunately, after wasting about 20 years, the African leaders realized that economic integration was crucial. In 1980, through the Lagos Plan of Action, the effort for economic integration started. Hence, we now have the East African community comprising of Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan, with 300 million people, COMESA with 560 million people, and the Continental Free Trade Area with 1.3 billion people. On this occasion, I therefore propose, as I told you during the meetings, that Vietnam and Uganda look at cooperation in 4 areas. And the 4 areas are the technical and scientific cooperation in education, health science, e.g. vaccines, agriculture, trade, investments, and tourism. I thank Your Excellency for this invitation which you extended to me. I take this honor to propose a toast to your good health and for the growing of the bilateral relations between Uganda and Vietnam.
In more news, government has affirmed support to the fisheries sector as the second leading foreign exchange earner for Uganda's economy. President Yoweri Museveni says the sector employs more than 80 million Ugandans, fetching approximately $154 million in foreign exchange annually. This was contained in a speech read for him by the Prime Minister, Robert Nabanja, during celebration to mark World Fisheries Day in Sedede District. Take a look.
It is a promising sector, only second to coffee in foreign exchange earnings. Yet, it is the same sector, not well supported by the government.
let's support fisheries docket. Let us support fish farmers, because the lake does not need an organization, whether it is dry, whether it is rainy, the lake has been prepared by God.
These are some of the concerns that were raised as Uganda joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Fisheries Day.
What we just need is to organize it, and we shall be able to support the fishermen.
Minister Helen Adoa's fears were allayed when the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja took to the podium.
The government has a mandate to transform the fisheries subsector from its current subsistence state to a commercial level without compromising the issues of national food security and the environment.
Speaking on behalf of the President, Nabanja acknowledged fishing and fish farming as possible game changers for Uganda that need support.
The fisheries subsector in Uganda contributes to the national goals of poverty reduction, economic growth, and national social development. The subsector contributes up to 3% of the national GDP and 12.6% to the agricultural GDP, and provides 2.8 million livelihoods.
The event was held at Serere District grounds with people talking, singing, dancing, and wearing fish. Area leaders want to see tarmacking of roads in and around the area to make the fisheries venture effective in changing lives.
Tarmacking the roads from Kumi, Ngora, Serere to Kagwara port to facilitate the movement of traffic to the ferry and quick movement of fish to the factories in Jinja and Kampala, the road from Soroti through Serere to Mulondo and Garama landing sites.
World Fisheries Day was held under the theme, Promote Fish Farming for Improved Household Incomes. Henry Okrut, UBC, Serere.
Thank you so much, Henry Okrut. Moving on from that, the International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor has sought to revive the case against fugitive rebel commander who, since an arrest warrant was issued in 2005 on allegations of war crimes. Now, Prosecutor Karim Khan said that he had asked judges for an authorization to hold a hearing to confirm the charges against Kony, the head of the notorious Lord's Resistance Army, in his absence. Kony launched a rebellion more than 3 decades ago in northern Uganda. The Hague-based ICC issued an arrest warrant for Kony in 2005 on allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity. However, this arrest warrant remains unexecuted to this day. Kony has sought to evade judicial proceedings at this court for more than 17 years despite continuing efforts, Khan said in a statement. The allegations against Kony in the arrest warrant include murder, cruel treatment, enslavement, rape, and attacks against the civilian population, the ICC said. Well, the search still continues despite Kony not making any appearances for over 17 years. Moving on from that, the 3rd Division Commander, Brigadier Joseph Balikudembe, has said local leaders' involvement in cattle rustling is frustrating security efforts for total restoration of peace in the region.
Amodule of Lotim and John Bosco Lokol of Kabong East sub-counties.
Our action of yesterday made the leaders themselves to vomit the cows raided from Turkana.
3rd Division Commander Brigadier General Joseph Balikudembe says the local leaders have also played a big part in aiding cattle rustling and delayed restoration of peace in the region.
They have completely failed peace to return to the the sub-region.
Balikudembe says the local leaders have been working alongside alleged fortune tellers, aided by one Joseph Lochoro in aiding cattle rustling. On the contrary, 16 guns have been recovered in Kabong district in just 10 days. Also, 16 Dodoth warriors suspected to have been behind the Turkana cattle raid were also arrested. Unfortunately, 2 of them were put out of action in Kampala village, Kabong East. The suspects will be arraigned before the court-martial to answer charges of cattle rustling and illegal possession of firearms. Sudat Kaye and Maureen Yiga, UBC News.
Still in UBC News tonight, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance is to come up with a policy to commercialize research and innovations developed by institutions. The ministry has noticed how innovations are coming out but fail due to the developers lacking capital, hence increasing unemployment. This was disclosed by the State Minister for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, at the 15th graduation of Uganda Institute of Information and Communication. We have details on the story.
Uganda Institute of Information and Communication has held its 15th graduation ceremony at their institute in Nakawa. At least 378 students have been awarded diplomas and certificate programs in the Department of ICT Engineering and Management.
The starting point of our contribution in this area is integration of ICT into technical vocational education training, and this is no longer good to have, but a must have.
The occasion was graced by the State Minister for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, who applauded institutions of higher learning for prioritizing science and innovation.
Institutions, please go into research and development. Don't just teach. Those days of ours when we were studying at university and you listen to a lecturer and after 1 hour, 2 hours, you go. That is over now.
With more innovations being developed, Kabyanga cited how the ministry is to come up with policies to see that these innovations do not stop at the startup.
Now we are trying as the Ministry of ICT to ensure every research is developed and then it reaches commercialization. And that one, we have put it, we are working on it with UCC and other agencies to ensure all research in our institutions like this one is developed and reaches a point of commercialization.
The Ministry of ICT, according to Kabyanga, has taken steps in supporting
Forum for Democratic Change Party has revealed plans to build a robust electoral infrastructure, build ideologically clear-headed and informed political cadres, campaign management machinery and resource mobilization. This is one of the 9 objectives of the 5-year strategic plan that has been launched at the party headquarters in Najjanankumbi as a tool to strengthen the party from grassroots up to the top and build brotherhood.
Forum for Democratic Change Party has launched the 3rd strategic plan for the year 2022-2027 that was endorsed by heads of district during the 15th National Council meeting at Najjanankumbi. The President FDC Party, Patrick Oboya Muriat, explained that the strategy is going to be a tool for building brotherhood and guide them how to work together. The plan aims at ensuring accountability among elected leaders by the party and government through drafting legal agreements and contracts where all elected leaders give accountability at the constituency level and offices.
Ensure accountability of all elected leaders, both within the party and those in government. If this strategic direction or objective is followed meticulously, issues of accountability or lack of accountability will be history or no.
Through this plan, the party is to build a strong financial base and a robust electoral infrastructure.
A robust electoral infrastructure to compete, win, and defend our victory. Nitty-gritty of getting into an election, including the preparations for any election, is contained under that strategic objective.
The publicity of issues of the party are also to be strengthened by effectively communicating with media houses and also ensure what is projected on social media is the true image for the party.
See how to work with the fourth estate so that we may stop pulling and pushing. We want to understand the psyche of the media houses so that we see stories that are not based on hearsay and rumors and hate towards the FDC.
The plan has been shared among leaders to critically analyze it for a period of 3 months for any amendment. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa at Najana Nkumbi.
Moving on from that, radiation safety officers have been advised to follow the rightful procedures while operating radioactive material in medical facilities. This is the only way they can prevent themselves from the consequences of exposure to radiation. Kawa and Neso have a detailed report on this story.
The Atomic Energy Council is engaging operators and radiation safety officers for nuclear energy application to ensure they and the patients do not suffer from the consequences of exposure to radiation while using radioactive equipment in medical facilities. The target is operators and officers in the districts of Wakiso, Mpigi, Masaka, Chotera, Rakai, Lyantonde, Sembabule, Kalungu, Mubende, Kasanda, Mitiana, Kiboga and Nakaseke, where there are a majority of equipment with ionizing radiation.
Previously, being a director and being the owner of the machine, I thought I would just instruct any other way, in the way because I'm the owner. But I've come to learn that having the machine owning the machine is not enough. The machine has directives of handling it.
The engagement will enable radiation safety officers adapt to evolving technology while operating radioactive equipment.
So we have to embrace it because it is more accurate, it is less risky, it is more precise, and this in a way mitigates risks associated with the exposure to radiation if not properly handled.
Despite radioactive machines being dangerous when they have leakage or faulty, the Atomic Energy Council has registered cases of illegal importation of these machines.
The law is very clear about the procedure. You have to notify council when you are going to import such machines. You must be licensed to use that machine, and if you act outside that procedure, then you are acting illegally. As council, we are working towards ascertaining these individuals. We've ascertained them, we've warned them, and we've advised them on the right procedure and the way to go. Many of them have changed, and we hope this practice is going to reduce.
It is advisable that those intending to procure radioactive equipment engage URA, UNBS and NDA to procure the right machines. An inventory as of 31st October 2022 revealed that there are 899 radiation generators and 221 radioactive sources, totaling to 1,120 radiation sources. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
The Minister for Public Service, Mukasa Muruli, has assured investors in Uganda of the NRM's government commitment of ensuring a continued stable investment climate that guarantees sustainable production of the required goods and services. Public Service Minister Honorable Wilson Mukasa Muruli was representing the Vice President of Uganda at the 10th celebrations of the Visionaries of Uganda Award Ceremony 2022 held at Serena Hotel in Kampala.
The Minister for Public Service, Wilson Mukasa Muruli, has expressed the need to skill more Ugandans for the world of work as a way of achieving faster and steady economic growth and to exploit available contemporary technologies for innovation and research. He was officiating this year's Visionaries Awards ceremony where 58 personalities, companies and organizations award accolades for their outstanding performance.
We also need to have a workforce that can stand up to the challenges of the times. Let therefore each of the visionaries gathered here consider skilling the human resource.
Mukasamuruli says plans are underway by Government of Uganda to establish 19 Service Uganda one-stop centers to ease the cost of doing business. The Directorate of Industrial Training was awarded a memento for triggering development through spearheading assessment and certification of skills for the world of work.
This award is an achievement. It is for our staff who have worked tirelessly, all the staff of DIT, as we celebrate 50 years. We are in that direction.
The National Drug Authority was recognized for the 5th time as the best visionary health government regulatory agency.
The number of activities that we do routinely, but those that stand out, one is that the National Drug Authority has a national drug quality control laboratory that has been approved by the World Health Organization, is pre-qualified by the World Health Organization.
Sasakawa Africa Association is also holding the win of the Best Agriculture-based non-government organization, which has touched the lives of many peasants, smallholder farmers, to commercial agriculture.
What this award means to Sasakawa is that whatever we are doing to improve the lives of smallholder farmers is indeed impactful, and our partner, the government and all other development partners we are working with are appreciative, and indeed we are changing the lives of smallholder farmers from subsistence to being commercial.
Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
Ladies and gentlemen, Livingston brings you Bera the Genesis concert on 26th November 2022 at Kololo Airstrip. Come we celebrate gospel music as we take you through the Genesis, featuring ordinary tickets at 20,000 shillings, VIP tickets at 50,000 shillings, and a table of 10 at 2 million shillings. And the first 1,000 people who will buy a ticket via MTN mobile money will get a discount of 5,000 shillings on each. Don't forget, people with disabilities enter for free. Livingston Live in Bera the Genesis concert is brought to you by Plascon, Fenot, Coca-Cola, Maestro Studios, UNCC, Tres Gospel, Design Consult, Diesel Money, and MTN.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the Government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312 206 400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too!
Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash hands with soap, it means clean hands for all. This is a message from the National Hand Washing Secretariat.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. It's just 3 minutes to 8:30 p.m. Now, a Chief Magistrate at Kololo Anti-Corruption Achiro Joan has granted bail to 4 government officials who are facing charges of abuse of office. Among those released are Baguma Daniel, Chiza Simon, Nsugwa Faiza, and Byaruhanga Rogers. We apologize for that hiccup, but still in UBC News Tonight, a week-long World Bank mission aimed at verifying the progress of ongoing civil works of key projects in the West Nile and northern parts of the country has been concluded. The mission was seeking to establish progress of implementation of the projects, including the challenges impacting on progress, status of works under the physical planning and fiscal performance. Details follow.
World Bank mission has concluded a 7-day mission whose mandate was to ascertain the progress of infrastructure projects it is funding in the West Nile and northern parts of the country.
Things like the bus stops, things like the shelters for the travelers, they are very important. Also for the border sheds, I think we are now starting to know that these most cases we improve the roads and then they occupy the road because we have not provided for them to wait off the road. So these are things we need to start looking at.
The team that inspected markets, resource centers, roads and sports facilities being constructed under World Bank funding at $60 million was also keen on the fiscal performance of the implementing local governments.
This is the right time that the project should have even put more money so that the new cities that are there in Uganda, the 10 new cities and the upcoming municipalities, they are properly managed so that the community who are now growing in the urban so much in the country get quality services they need.
These projects are being implemented with the direct supervision of the Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure Development.
communities to come and play together, to do athletics together. It brings social cohesion and coexistence in the community, so that we remove this biasness of, oh, they are coming to take our land. They are also part of us.
The team also heard of the circumstances under which funds amounting to nearly 30 billion shillings from the accounts of the implementing local government were swept back to the treasury, among others.
It has had a bit of a challenge in terms of fiscal progress because we did not have money. They placed in the request for payment, but we did not have money in the district until mid last week. That's when the availability of money was confirmed to us.
Among the districts covered under the just concluded review exercise on progress include Yumbe, Terego, Arua City, Arua District, Gulu City, and Kit.
In more stories, Uganda Institute of Allied Health and Management Sciences has passed 871 graduates in various fields, including orthopedic technology and audiology. This was during the Institute's 14th graduation.
Graduates in the area of health have been advised to upgrade to remain relevant, respect the Hippocratic Oath, and serve self. This in a message from the Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni.
You have acquired practical knowledge and skills in human care during your training, and I now challenge you, go to the next phase of your respective careers to most professionally apply these newly acquired knowledge, skills, so as to make a meaningful contribution to improving the health statistics in Uganda and beyond.
The Institute's principal, Rose Nassali, prides in the successes that have overshadowed the challenges, but all this after hard work.
For them to be reviewed, we have inadequate space for co-curricular activities. We have inadequate accommodation for staffs. And this poses a threat, especially in the light of the current epidemics of COVID-19 and Ebola. However, we feel our future is still bright because we have strengthened our capacity of carrying out operational research and publication.
Moses Okwera is an advocate of a healthy nation and tells of how best to handle non-communicable diseases which still kill Ugandans.
We can solve that by maintaining exercises, by maintaining good hygiene, and by eating healthy foods.
Graduates in more than 10 fields, including anesthesia, ear, nose, throat, and head and neck surgery, received certificates, diplomas, and post-basic diplomas.
The Directorate of Industrial Training at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Patrick Byakatonda, has tasked parents to interest their children in vocational training to uplift their communities. Now, Dr. Byakatonda has disclosed while officiating at the pioneer graduation ceremony of Abia Skills Development and Training Center, Chengeda in Wakiso District. Muganga has more details on this report.
The Directorate of Industrial Training, Dr. Patrick Byakatonda, says there is need for the youth to utilize their available vocational skills to close employable gaps.
Formally, so those are skills which are acquired. The soft skills, the ESCO code of conduct, the integrity, the spiritual, the communication skill, the honesty, the entrepreneurship skills, all those skills are very critical if somebody is going to get a job or to start his own business.
This was at a graduation function of Abia Skills Institute, where 52 technicians graduated with the Directorate of Industrial Training certificates in tailoring, fashion and design, hairdressing, office secretarial, catering, ICT, electro installation and building construction.
So public and private partnership are very critical in skills training. Government alone can't do it, but they need the support of the private sector.
The director, Abia Skills Institute, Moses Segirinya, expressed gratitude towards various education stakeholders, parents and staff for their commitment towards promoting vocational training in the institute.
You, the graduates, to use the skills you have acquired from here to create wealth, because without money in your pocket, you'll never be happy. Wealth can only be created by practicing the culture of saving and living a disciplined life.
Sorry, to remain disciplined. I wish you to remain disciplined in whatever you be doing. Be the Abia ambassador, represent the Abia Skills Development Center where you go.
Graduates were overjoyed upon graduation and acquisition of lifelong skills.
Yes! Continue dancing! Continue dancing! Continue dancing! Continue!
Help me in managing my life, balancing it and taking it forward.
Make my job, yeah, though I want to shop and I want to work.
Nafka Farida, I'm Ganga Henry.
Well, congratulations to the 55 graduates. Wakiso District National Resistance Movement party leaders have launched a reconciliation process among party members to address in fighting and recover the positions lost during the 2020 general elections. The district NRM chairman, Haji Abdul Chiimba, says some party members were planning to quit after those who failed in the primaries returned as independents, leading the party to lose positions in the municipality.
National Resistance Movement members in Wakiso District have started laying strategies for the 2026 thorough reconciliation. Wakiso District NRM Chairman Haji Abdu Chiimba launched a reconciliation meeting in Entebbe to bring back all party members who had gone away as independents after losing in the party primaries.
Akarika kamazo bakatika mazo bawuzamu era ne bantu majogere mukamange president tulina okuteekawo reconciliation okulaba ati Ntebe ebamu nedoboozi eryamu ndi mativu nti abantu b'Entebe bonna bazze ebirowoozo babimpadde era bitwala mu maaso ga mukama wange ndabe nga munnyonnyola.
Entebbe municipality is one of the areas which experienced chaos during the NRM primaries and the 2021 general elections, where one person, Eric Cheyuni, died during protests. The chairman NRM Entebbe constituency, Shiaka Stephen Gasheja, says the reconciliation returns sanity to the party.
So the people support the ruling party. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 meetings that are going to help us be able to address these issues moving forward. And we call for the support of the people of Entebbe. Come forward, come, we have a discussion. We're going to resolve one by one.
A section of party members declared a poor working relationship among members and called for harmony. The opposition won most political seats in Entebbe municipality in the 2021 general elections, which is predominantly an NRM area. Amiona Francisco, UBC News.
The State Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao, has urged local government leaders to take a lead in protecting government land in their areas of jurisdiction. Minister Nabosa was clearing the land boundary of Posta Uganda in Kalido district, where part of it was encroached.
Posta Uganda raised a complaint to the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, seeking support to remove encroachers on its land. The ministry launched a fact-finding visit and a committee was constituted to solve issues of Kalilo encroachers.
I thank the committee which was left behind to do this. The people who encroached on the post office land have agreed. They brought their surveyors, and the post office also brought their surveyors. So together they work together to make sure that the boundaries are well done.
The State Minister for ICT, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao, has hit the ground with a team of surveyors to clear the queries around Posta Uganda land in Kalilo district.
Local government people, please make sure that land for the government are reserved and land for the institution of government are reserved, so that in the future if they want to construct any building or any structures, they don't find it very difficult, because development is always coming up from time to time.
The community welcomed the guest of mapping all government land for proper planning.
Created the boundaries of post office, Kalilo post office, and I'm satisfied with the exercise. The measurements were okay.
Tumaita boundaries zija so ejibita ati antuli contented intia itakalie sigaire tuaba kuboku itakalia isu.
Local leaders are concerned of the huge chunks of government land which is not titled.
To get a title, try to measure your lands, put a title, because if this post bank doesn't have a title, it will be, this matter cannot be solved.
The ministry commits to ensure the recovery of Posta Uganda land to facilitate the revamping process of the entity. Abdu Nasili Lubwama, UBC News.
We'll take a one commercial break before we come to the end of UBC News Tonight and plan to watch a World Cup with England versus the USA. So we'll take a break right now and we'll be back with more stories.
Ladies and gentlemen, Livingston brings you Bera the Genesis concert on 26th November 2022 at Kololo Airstrip. Come we celebrate gospel music as we take you through the Genesis, featuring ordinary tickets at 20,000 shillings, VIP tickets at 50,000 shillings, and a table of 10 at 2 million shillings. And the first 1,000 people who will buy a ticket via MTN mobile money will get a discount of 5,000 shillings on each. Don't forget, people with disabilities enter for free. Livingston Live in Bera the Genesis concert is brought to you by Plascon, Fenon, Coca-Cola, Maestro Studios, UNCC, Tres Gospel, Design Consult, Diesel Money, and MTN.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too!
No! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
In our business stories, the District Production Officer Otuke District Thomas Anyuru has observed youth as the best group to promote commercial farming. He said once youth are empowered with agri-entrepreneurship basic skills, unemployment and food insecurity will diminish. This was at a youth business clinic organized by Sasakawa Africa Association in Lira City to enhance youth employment through agri-entrepreneurship enterprises. Take a look.
Youth in various agriculture enterprises in the districts of Otuke have received checks worth millions of shillings courtesy of Sasakawa Africa Association. This follows a stiff pitching competition held at a convened Sasakawa Youth Business Clinic at Tasha Hotel in Lira City. The youth are sure to invest the funding into boosting their agriculture entrepreneurship business.
I'll make sure I also buy some other farm tools if they are missing.
This money I'm going to inject in my produce business.
We used cow-dice feeds to feed this field, so this is the money I'm going to inject by buying feeds.
I will also use part of the money for laborers. I will also use part of that money for transport.
While handing out the checks, Otuke District Production Officer Thomas Anyuru applauds Sasakawa Africa Association for the gesture, saying youth will value agriculture as the best source to wealth creation.
We believe that it is the youth that is going to help us transform agriculture. We believe that with this kind of engagement, if they can go back and put the knowledge that they have acquired from this training into practice, really they can earn income that will help them engage in production, continuous production, and also the upper value chains, and then they become entrepreneurs.
Lead Market Orient Agriculture Sasakawa Africa Association, Andrea Okirol, says business planning, exploring financial options for agriculture and behavioral competence of successful enterprises were among the business discussed matters focus.
So Sasakawa came up with a concept, with a business clinic concept to skill the youth, train them, equip them, give them a small startup fund so that they are able to start their businesses, they are able to expand their businesses, and they are able to employ others within the business. Because you can imagine most of the youth are educated, having qualifications, but they can't access the jobs.
Yana Francisco, UBC News.
Government is set to approve $217 million in benefit of women entrepreneurs to improve on their ability, well-being and business. This was during the official award-winning ceremony where successful women entrepreneurs scope different awards for standing out this year. Take a look.
Over the years, developing and strengthening entrepreneurial capabilities of women in Uganda has been lacking due to challenges related to information gaps on business, markets and expertise.
We are working on standards and ensure we can actually even export. But at the end of the day, why even today we're talking about the incubation to nurture national trade is because we want them to have the standards clear.
Some of these challenges have been solved, but not to expectations, as different government organs and other stakeholders have been inactive.
Shows that the women were not aware about the opportunities of participating in public procurement.
Women entrepreneurs many times do not engage in business at a scale that would require that they participate in government procurement. You will find many businesses owned by men.
70% of contracts government gives companies are not completed within the stipulated time, thus losing money.
Over 75% of contracts in government are not completed within the cost that was contracted, and I think over 60% of the contracts are not completed within the time that was agreed to. People agree to complete a contract within 1 year, but eventually after 1 year, half of the work has not been done.
Now World Bank on behalf of government has approved US dollars 217 millions in benefit of women entrepreneurs to improve on their ability, well-being and business.
This program is a grant given to us by World Bank, 217 million US dollars for a period of 4 years. And I'm very sure that this project is going to come and help the women, especially those who are already in business, because it's not for starters. For starters, we shall take them to the PDM, but we are saying women who are already in business, how do we help you to add value to your business? How do we improve on your technology apparatus that help your business to do well, information access, and also capacity building, because that is critical for the women to be built their capacity to improve on their businesses.
Women in business have been encouraged to use this chance and the funds given to them to improve their skills and well-being. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
A symposium on the implications of energy transition to Uganda's extractives industry has been held in Kampala. The stakeholders aligned to environment matters and the extractive industry discussed issues relating to energy transition and harnessing of oil and gas resources in a sustainable manner.
Kutokana na utaratibu wa juhudi zinazowekwa kukabiliana na mabadiliko ya hali ya hewa, Uganda imeshachukua hatua ya mabadiliko ya kawi na uchimbaji mafuta.
The term really
We're so sorry about the language. We'll get that story to play in English later on in the bulletin. Now, still in our business stories, operators in the hotel and tourism industry have appealed to the government to set up a tourism fund to ensure effective response to emergencies in the sector. The President Uganda Hotel Owners Association, Susan Muhwezi, says that the outbreak of COVID-19 opened many eyes, including those of the tourism industry. This, she said, as Uganda Hotel Owners Association and Uganda Tourism Board signed a memorandum of understanding for ensuring continuity of joint efforts. Details follow.
Healing from the blisters of COVID-19, the tourism industry in Uganda is on the path to recovery. Recent figures indicate a 75% occupancy of hotels between July and August 2022.
After the 2 years with the experience of total lockdown and people shutting down their businesses, we have proved ourselves to be a resilient lot, in the tourism sector.
This is the progress that the newly signed Memorandum of Understanding is seeking to maintain. Susan Muhwezi signed on behalf of Uganda Hotel Owners Association, while Lily Ajarova penned for Uganda Tourism Board.
But we are very optimistic that this is a short-term problem. With all the efforts in place, we should be able to pick up again as the tourism sector to have the numbers going up.
Most of these hotels should be the first ones. When you are selling in millions of dollars, these ones make little money to put up these buildings. They already have the burden of loans in these banks. But I believe these are some of the things that signing this MOU will help.
Lessons have been learned with the recent discomfort caused by COVID-19 pandemic. Susan Muhwezi also wants a tourism fund established to quicken response to such emergencies,
which is managed by the private sector in collaboration with the agencies like UTB, UHOA, UTA, then you'd say, hey, there's this problem, and we know our members, we know who has a loan, we know who can pay back, then we'd be able to roll it out.
For now, Parliament and Ministry of Finance are called upon to fast-track the harmonization of licensing and tax policy in the tourism sector. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The third Deputy Prime Minister, Hajat Lukia Nakadama, has urged non-government entities to support and make use of available government facilities. Yes, as she said. Now, Minister Nakadama was officiating at the Thanksgiving celebrations for the 120 years of existence and operation of Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation. Details follow.
Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation has been in existence for 120 years. Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation is mandated to print and publish mainly government documents and other documents for private entities.
In those places, they bring them and we mount on these machines here.
During its existence, the company has enjoyed both economies and diseconomies of scale, as Kenneth Oluka, the acting managing director, explains.
It's a time that we decided to take, not just to celebrate, but to stop, think, reflect, and meditate. That's why we had a Thanksgiving today, to thank God for the many years that we have lived as an entity, and also to ask for his guidance and wisdom, knowledge, understanding and resources to carry UPPC to another level.
Oluka explains that the corporation was started during the colonial era with the aim of printing and publishing government documents as it's mandated.
There has been a lot of obscurity about the functions of UPPC, where many people think it is just only to print and publish the Uganda Gazette and the laws. And as I told the audience, the mandate of UPPC is wide and broad. And it just depends on how we as the team at UPPC will put into action or actualize what is in our mandate as per the Act of Parliament.
He says the company is yet to start the process of revamping and acquisition of high-tech digitalized system equipment to serve the intended market. Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation still prides in quality, reliability in service delivery in accordance with its mandate.
In the same way, we have our chief guest,
the third Deputy Prime Minister Hajat Lukia Nakadama, who officiated the Thanksgiving ceremony, commended government for the support and commitment towards the sustainability of the corporation.
I would like to remind you, heed to the presidential directives for all government institutions prioritize giving their printing and publishing works to the two government printing and publishing corporations, that is Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation and the Vision Group.
She, however, urged the public to make use of subsidized government facility and also support government.
In our sports news, a few weeks to the long-awaited fight, between kickboxing champion Moses Golula and Hamza Fungu. Both fighters are in camp for the contest. Hamza Fungu, who is camped at Akamwesi Gym in Chebando, says he's ready to retire Moses Golula come the 26th of December at Akamwesi grounds. Moses Golula, on the other hand, looks at the revival fight as one that will boost his training academy, both in finances and legacy. One can't, however, dispute the strength of Moses Golula in kickboxing. Now, Hamza Fungu, on the other hand, has vast experience in boxing. A visit to his training camp, emphasis was on resilience and stamina, as he assured of a good fight come the Boxing Day.